Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and it seems it's only a matter of time until Censor and Clayster once again come at each other's necks. Censor's looking at some of the numbers and saying, okay, he's one of the greatest ever when you look at the statistics, and Clayster's coming back in the replies and saying, hang on a second, Doug, I've owned you your entire career. Very much enjoy your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thanks very much indeed for doing that one. Some interesting spots here, especially on Bacard, just to start out the video, because I think Champs is going to get rather hectic indeed. There are many spots on this map and many maps in the game that may well have been found out by many pros and haven't yet being used. Like, this is one of them. I mean, like, every single one you see here, there's an interesting spot that comes along that a lot of times you don't see people use. But I'm sure pros have been trying to find this stuff out and trying to find out ways that they can get onto some of these spots and abuse them potentially at the World Championship. I do wonder if we're going to see a completely different game at Champs, because the last couple of years we've seen some things come out on certain maps that the pros have discovered that they can actually use to their advantage at the World Championship. The most famous example, I guess I would argue, would be, I mean, even look at this one, which is kind of like, there's no way that's meant to be how the game is played, but I suppose that's Vanguard, baby. But again, the one I really remember was back in Modern Warfare, right, on Gunrunner, when it was Illy and the Dallas Empire guys. They brought out a pretty crazy, like, a sniper line of sight them all the way at the back of the map to defend the A bomb site. Brought it out, I believe, in the grand finals. Like, okay, what even is this game? Like, what was that about? So there's spots just like this everywhere. I imagine teams like FaZe, maybe Optic with Shotzi, have some ideas up their sleeve here for the World Championships as well. Just to mention this, I thought was pretty cool from Oxygen Murph, who's of course involved with the Boston Breach side. They've come to this kind of partnership effectively with Helix Esports, where they hosted, I believe, the Challengers tournament. So cool to see that he was enjoying it, thinking it was a good time, and was really impressed by the way the tournament turned out. So probably more to come on that front going forward. So yes, Challenger support been a big topic of discussion this year. Hopefully it's going to continue to trend in the right direction. This another one of those spots, just to mention, I saw this on Reddit, that this guy is actually not about to fall off the map. There's a spot here on Desert Siege where it's kind of like the Azir K spot, if you guys remember. I think there was like an Azir K spot on like I think it was the P5 hardpoint, and I think Jerd liked to play in it sometimes. If you went forward from where P5 was, like there was a building at the back where Shotzi would go with a growl on Dallas Empire towards the end, and P5 was in front of that. And then if you went further forward and to the left along that street, there was some way you could like hop off the map and like stay on the map somehow on some sort of like rock or something. Apparently the same thing is possible here. There's a rock just outside the map here on Desert Siege where you can stand on, and like it's a rock that you can stand on, right? This is the thing about the whole Clayster unintended line of sight from back in the Black Ops 3 days. Like, if Cellium or someone, I'm just saying Cellium because he likes to abuse spots like this at times, if someone pulls out this spot and like stands here and stands up and gets a kill off the bomb and then crouches down again, and it's really tough to even see you here anyway, is this a legal spot, right? Because okay, it's coded into the map that there is a rock there that you can jump off the map and stand on top of. Is it intended? Is it like a glitch ledge or whatever? I don't even know what the ruling would be in that case, but well, I kind of hope that we do get to see some of this stuff happen, so we get the absolute drama of the chaos that would unfold as a result. But some of these spots I think are rather overpowered, maybe including this one. Let's talk Doug then. One thing that he thinks might also be overpowered is a new sight that he's discovered seemingly on some of the weapons. I'll just share a quick clip right here where he says he's going to tell the Boston guys about a new sight he discovered to use on his SMG, which apparently is rather good. Now look, whether the kids he's playing against just have no thumbs, or whether this is actually a viable option, that's a question mark, but maybe we don't just see spots get pulled out at Champs, but maybe there's actually attachments and weapon ideas that also could come to fruition as well.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, wait.
Bro.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, bro. I just watched that. Everything pulled up.
Wait, yeah. Metaphor, I might have to tell Boston about this. Brother in Narnia right now.
It's flip. Oh, they spawned you. Yeah. On field already, bro.
Oh my god.
Let's dive into this Clayster versus Doug drama then, because look, we see this every so often with Clay and Doug coming at each other's necks, right? And we saw not that long ago when Doug actually beat Clayster on LAN. Like, Doug was kind of letting Clay know, and then after the fact, Clay was trying to get his revenge. Eventually did get his revenge really at the last chance qualifier, but of course Doug didn't qualify and Clayster did for the Challengers World Championship. Now Pentagram says the average age of an athlete in their prime is around 27, 28. Why is it in esports people at the age of 23 see mold? Doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm sure that's a conversation for another day. But as Doug says, I'm 27 turning 28, never felt better in my life. You're just the Brady of COD, not everyone built like you, Doug. And as Michael Hall says, Brady actually plays in the league and has won championships. Been trying to get back into what AW 7 years ago. And Doug, of course, isn't just going to sit there and take this one. He goes on to say this: finally, one player in the CDL that's won 4 championships with 4 different teams over 3 CODs that's also never lost in a finals. I will wait. So he's looking at the numbers here and he's kind of, well, cherry picking, I suppose, the numbers that look good for him, saying that, okay, he's won plenty of championships along many different teams, different Call of Duties, like his grand finals records. We'll talk about that one in a second. Like, he's going to wait, of course. Now, Clayster's sitting there thinking, hang on a second, Doug. There's no way you actually think that kind of, you know, you're the greatest of all time because of these numbers, because Clay comes back and says, okay, yeah, maybe I've lost to finals here and there, but still, he's won many more Call of Duty, you know, title victories than Censor has on many different teams, because that's the kind of thing with Clayster that's, you know, thrown to the wolves, comes back leading the pack, all that type of good stuff. Like, you know, many times in his career, getting dropped, joins a new team, brings that team to at least some modicum of success, or just winning a tournament, like happened many times back in the day. And even in recent times, gets chucked down into the challenger side, comes back, you know, forms a squad, ends up winning the kind of last chance qualifying for the World Championship, kind of a classic Clayster storyline in a way. But I mean, look, as Doug even says in the replies here, Clay can't beat me, right? So that's the thing. Cameron says in the replies, again, in fairness, Clay did win 3 champs, 3 different teams, including back-to-back on different teams. Like, yeah, so, okay, it's a close matchup, right, between Doug and Clayster for who is the 3rd, 4th greatest player of all time, whatever you want to put it, right? Obviously, you know, Clayster is way clearer in that sense, but it's kind of surprised this discussion even came through. But Doug does say, Clay can't beat me, right, at Clayster. So he's saying, okay, look, I'm the man, right, because Clayster, whenever he plays me, he can't take me down. I think there was twice this season where Doug actually beat Clayster on LAN, which of course was quite something. And this is one of the examples actually at a challenger tournament. I think Minnesota, the Major 2, the open event they had there was one of them, right? And, you know, he goes Doug maybe on the other side of the stage, and it is Clayster's team getting kind of frustrated with the loss that they had to suffer, and Doug went on to beat him later on as well, I'm pretty sure later in the year. But I'm pretty sure Clayster got one over on him maybe online. Like, and the idea is that Doug's going to say here is that, okay, yeah, maybe Clayster might be better than me in certain situations, but on LAN, Doug's got the better of him, right? Which I guess you can't really deny, but it's still pretty funny. Now, of course, Clay isn't just going to sit there and take this either. He comes back and says the following: brother Doug, I've dominated you my entire career. Congrats on your 2 pit wins. See you at champs, right? Of course, he's not even at champs, right? So, like, Clay's just, like, putting the knife in and twisting it a bit, saying that, okay, yeah, congrats, you beat me twice this year in the Challengers pits, but what did it really mean? Because I made champs, I made the Challengers World Championship, you did not, and I've just dominated you in terms of statistics, performances, results my entire career. So that was quite the statement here, of course, from Clayster. Like, you know, Doug gets ratioed a fair bit. The thing is with Doug, like, he must have known this was coming in a way. Like, there's no way you can really go at Clayster and say that you're on par in terms of achievements and history and records, and then not expect Clayster to come back and just put you in the dirt effectively. So just kind of how it goes at times. But as Doug kind of says in the replies, onliner, bro, can't win this argument. You've got 3 rings, so effectively he's just gonna have to chalk it off there. But yeah, this is kind of Doug's final response, really saying, okay, yeah, fair play, Clayster. You might have got to champs right this time around, but you did that online, whereas I was the one who beat you twice this season on LAN. And also maybe he's saying, oh, you know, Clay, one of your 3 rings was on live back in Modern Warfare. It's like, you know, maybe there's more to come from this storyline. But there was no doubt it's pretty entertaining as always when Doug and Clayster have a bit of a, you know, a bit of a banter session on the timeline. Now, I just wanted to mention this as well, because as Doug says right here, also never lost to finals. Now, Doug's going to keep up this whole never lost in a finals shtick. Now, I think I'm getting deja vu here, because we talked about this not that long ago. How many months ago was this? If you guys remember, let me know, because I'm pretty sure a few months ago, JCat was also talking about the fact that this claim that Doug had never lost to finals is actually bogus. And we looked at the time that the fact that he has actually lost to grand finals, but he has an excuse as to why that doesn't count. So that's Doug's whole thing, that he's never lost to finals, undefeated in finals, or whatever. It's actually not fully true, but Doug does have an excuse. But anyways, Jacob says, can't believe your undefeated in finals claim isn't true after all. You lied to all of us for years. That PAX Esports, you lost to finals. Maybe Jacob like knew this from a few months ago and we talked about it before, and is now coming back and, you know, just dishing out the truth to Doug himself. And as Doug says, no shot that counts. I went with the pickup team while being on another team. Finals is a finals, bro. And then Ake says, Doug, you gotta delete this tweet ASAP, which does get deleted, right? And this tweet actually said the following, which is just hilarious, the fact that Ake's even had the receipts on this one. But as he says, like, you gotta delete this ASAP. This is a tweet from 2014, 13th of April 2014. Lost in the grand finals, had a good run with SB, right? We'll look at the bracket here in a second. But yeah, lost in the grand finals, right? He admits it right here. But then, of course, 8 years later, deletes this tweet, and there is no historical record of this, apart from, of course, this screenshot right here, to ever be found again. So that was pretty funny, really, Doug admitting he lost to finals back in 2014, because, of course, he actually lost to Aches, as we can see here. So this is the team they lost to, Complexity. Honestly, still, though, pretty impressive run from Doug. They played Prime Complexity pretty much at the peak of their powers in the grand finals here and only lost lost 3-2 in the finals to the Prime Complexity Dynasty squad with effectively a pickup team with Doug, aBeZy, Saints, and Dido. So, I mean, look, Doug's probably thinking, look, this is a pickup team. I wasn't even meant to be teaming on this squad. Just joined them last minute. Yes, played a finals, lost a close series to the Complexity Dynasty. I can kind of understand why Doug kind of wants to sweep that one under the rug and say it doesn't count. Of course, look, at the end of the day, he did play a finals here and lost it. So technically his finals record is 4-1, not 4-0 that he likes to say it is. Now, to close this out with the Clayster and Censor drama here, right? He does end up replying Doug and says, look, I hope we're both in the league. There's no reason why we shouldn't be. The league needs us more than we need them, right? Which is quite the same with even Doug. Honestly, it kind of might be true to a degree because the personalities do run this league. If Doug and Clay were both to retire, I think the CDL would be a much more boring place. But yeah, hopefully we get more battles between these two to come. And yeah, maybe both will get in the CDL. I mean, technically Doug is in the CDL on the Boston bench, so that is at least one thing. Now, before we finish out the video here, I wanted to share a few screenshots on what was found from back in the Black Ops 1 days. Thought this was incredible. This was discovered, I saw it on Reddit, and there's actually quite a lot of these. I'll probably share a few of them over the coming days, but I'll share like 4 of the specific ones right here. This is from 2011, 2012, when they were effectively doing awards for the Black Ops 1 season. And here are some of those awards. So the longest lasting player, the player that's most difficult to kill, JCap, Scump, and TP. Those are the 3 names that rise to the fore here. So JCap was obviously an absolute demon back in Black Ops 1. Scump as well makes his appearance here, and TP as well, of course, future world champion a couple of years later on that Complexity team. The best strategist goes to Rambo. Stainville gets number 2, another NV player like during his history, and then Aches as well gets number 3. So just thought I'd mention the ones really with names that you guys will maybe have heard of or be aware of from the modern day. But I mean, yeah, Rambo gets the best strategist. I'm pretty sure Rambo also won the best leader award, which was interesting enough. Now, best shot. This is interesting because people talk about JCap like he's some sort of burger, but this guy was pretty much resoundingly the best player in the game back in Black Ops 1, and then of course went on to win back-to-back world championships in Advanced Warfare, and then into Black Ops 3 as well. So JCap gets number 1 here, Scump gets number 2, no real surprises there, and then Proofy 3rd on this list. And then the other one I've got to mention is best pistol, which is at a pretty similar top 3, but Scump actually gets number 1. I don't really think nowadays Scump is known so much for his pistol shots. Like, I think Simp would be the player that comes to mind. But yeah, back in the day, with the sidearm with a quick trigger finger, Scump was that guy. And to be fair, watching like Black Ops 2 gameplays and stuff, do you remember the 10 capture challenge with the TAC-45 with Merc back in Black Ops 2 Raid, capture the flag? Don't know if you guys remember that one. They ran around with TAC-45s and tried to get 10 captures in a league play game, and Scump was an absolute demon with it, right? So I guess this does make sense. Aches number 2, JCap number 3. But yeah, that is going to do it for today. Very much enjoyed your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. Tell us your YouTube gods, it's a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And hope grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you guys as always. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.
People that say Vanguard's bad are just like, they just want to fit in, you know? You know what I'm saying, chat? Like, people that just agree with things just because it's the mass consensus, like, you don't actually think it's bad. You just think it's bad because your friends think it's bad. Like, no one can critically think. This game is so good. Number 1, breakable cover. What an innovation, right? Something that's never been in COD before. That's so incredible that they were able to put that into Call of Duty when it's never been there before. Number 2, doors. Incredible. Just doors speak for themselves. I think that's one of the best features that Call of Duty's added over recent years, if you ask me. Number 3, how they were able to capture the ambiance of World War II for the 15th time in a Call of Duty game. I mean, flawless execution, if you ask me. Right? Number 4, the maps. Oh my god, the maps. Are we serious, guys? We have maps like Bow Cage, when all we had last year was Raid. Like, we don't even need to elaborate, chat. Like, oh, beautiful, chat. Come on. Like, are we serious right now? People can't even think for themselves these days, dude. Honestly, it's a sin.